how do you build and introduce business coaching in a country where business coaching is literally unknown? Today, our conversation is with Satyam Garg, Master Licensee for ActionCOACH in India. He will share with us key insights into how to grow a dynamic franchise network while at the same time assisting thousands of small business owners grow their business in India. So let's get to it. Satyam Garg, what do you feel are the top qualities, the top 2 or 3 qualities that someone needs to be successful in franchising?
Thanks, William, for the opportunity today. And I feel someone who's looking at investing into a franchise business, the first and the foremost quality that we are looking at is, the business acumen. It's all about business. Franchising is all about replicating a proven model. So understanding the nuts and bolts of running a business is very, very crucial. So when me or my team are evaluating or speaking to a prospective franchise, we always look at the background, the number of years of experience they would have in a job, or, the number of years they would have spent running a business or building a business. So that's the first and the foremost thing that we look at. Second, running a business is all about managing people, the stakeholders. So people skills really play a very, very crucial role. So, as a franchisee, you're just not managing your employees or teams, but you're also managing relationship with various stakeholders, your franchisors, the other franchisee in the system. So emotional intelligence really goes a long way. And finally, I would say, it's the perseverance, like any entrepreneurial venture, there will be challenges. The ability to power through setbacks is indispensable. One of the things that I always, tell anyone who's evaluating a business opportunity is, don't just ask about the ROIs. Don't just invest in a business because this business opportunity is trending, or your friends are doing well at it. Look at picking up a business that you enjoy doing in the long run, because when you start a business, it will bring in a lot of setbacks. It will bring in a lot of difficulties. But if you enjoy the process, then you will have the strength to overcome those challenges as well. And that's where I feel perseverance plays a very, very crucial role. So these are some things that, we really look at, while selecting a franchisee, and they play a very, very crucial role, I would say.
And do you feel, you mentioned the first one was some business acumen, and so you expect the new franchisee to have had some kind of self-employed business experience, entrepreneurial business experience?
If they have that, that's always an added advantage. But, if they've either been in a job also, at least they understand what it takes to build businesses or what it takes to run businesses. If suddenly, I go to a lot of exhibitions, William, and I see these young, aspiring entrepreneurs just graduated out of the college coming to us and seeking investments in knowledge businesses. And that's where I tell them, probably you're good, bright, but, you need a couple of years of work experience before we have this conversation. So that's what I definitely look at.
And the popularity of the service business, specifically business coaching, does that make it more attractive or less as a business model?
If when I started working in the knowledge space, and thanks to ActionCOACH for giving me that opportunity, and this goes back to December of 2019. And I remember, attending one of the franchise exhibition where, I could see, the room had about 300, 400 franchise opportunities. And one of them was ActionCOACH, knowledge-based business. And I would see all the crowd going towards the F&Bs and the beauty salon, gyms kind of booths. And I was sitting, mostly, I had about 10, 12 conversations all around the day. And right opposite my booth was this gentleman who was running a preschool. And he walked up to me in the evening saying that, okay, how was your day like? And how many inquiries did you get? And he kind of asked me, what's the business model like? And he told me, Satyam, this is not going to work. This kind of concept doesn't work in India. People are not going to pay to become business coaches or, to invest in knowledge businesses. And the very first year, we were able to point about 20, 25 franchisees for Action. And now whenever I go to an exhibition, I always look for that gentleman. If I get him, I'll talk to him about the growing popularity of knowledge based businesses. But what I can actually vouch, William, is for our markets at least, maybe coaching as a concept was quite matured in the Western markets, but in a market like India, I think COVID played a blessing in disguise role. COVID gave everyone the opportunity to kind of look back what's working and what's not working. And during that time, people realized the importance of coaching, training, consulting as a business opportunity. And from since there on, it's become a very crowded space in India. My journey, what started as Action Coach, now we run about 10 to 12 knowledge businesses in our markets. And I can strongly say that it's one of the most preferred business opportunities. But because there are certain set of people who are looking at building a business around their passion, they are looking at building a business around the skill set, experience, and that's when knowledge businesses or service businesses really come in. So the future is knowledge based businesses from here on.
And it's funny that the gentleman who actually was running a preschool felt like knowledge base was not going to be popular in India.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm looking at taking over your franchise or acquiring a franchise from you. What questions, as someone that's not new to franchising, should I be asking you, the franchisor, about the business in general?
So, I would say, it all starts with, what's the brand story? What's the franchisor story of how the business started, how their growth trajectory has been, and what's their market saturation. I would also like to ask the franchisor of, the ongoing support the franchisor provide. It's just not about the training, hand holding, but it's also about, the systems, the processes, the hand holding. If I don't, I'm not doing well, are you there to hand hold me through that process? So what's apart from training and, hand holding that you're bringing really to the table? And one of the key elements that I would definitely say would be how much autonomy do I have as a franchisee in decision making? Is there any flexibility or not, or do I need to just follow all the rules in the system? So these are some of the questions that typically I would ask when I'm looking at investing into a franchise business. Make sense, William?
It does, and something you talked about a proven system before, and I guess part of becoming a franchisee is knowing or learning how to follow a system and sticking to the system.
Yep. That's very important. Otherwise there's no point of investing into a franchise business if you want to reinvent the wheel or innovate the wheel. The whole idea of investing in a franchise business is that you don't want to spend time in testing and measuring. You want a proven system that has helped businesses, that has helped franchisees across the globe, and you just want to follow that, replicate that. So there's no point reinventing the wheel, I would say. Yeah. Follow the system. That's what we say.
And yeah. And the fact is that, franchising has become popular, very popular in India. Franchising has been popular in India for a few years. I know, but if looking at the type of franchise that you are operating and you're running, and to have that success and that growth, rapid growth in India, it's amazing that that is still continue to be very popular.
It continues to be popular, and I can vouch for it. Now being a part of this franchising business for a little over 5 years, and representing an organization which in the last 5 years I would say has gone global. I can say India is now the biggest market for franchisors. Every single franchisor that's operating at a global level is looking at India as the biggest market for them. So the next decade is for India, and if anyone is really wanting to look at serious growth, this is the market to be in. And there are multiple reasons for it. India has the purchasing capacity. People are open at investing into concepts that bring experience. Now people just don't want to buy a business or run a business because of the problem it solves, but it is also about, bringing new experiences in our territories. People want to try new kind of businesses, and entrepreneurship as a concept is at a growth in India. And when you're looking at becoming an entrepreneur, there are two ways to look at it. You build everything right from scratch, or you invest into a proven business model, and that's where franchising really plays a very, very important role. So I would say, that's India is now the biggest market for franchising all at a global level, to say.
And you mentioned that earlier that people were wondering whether someone would actually invest in a franchise in India. But I'm going back one more, taking it far one more step. Would your end user or your actual clients for coaching, for business coaching, do you feel that they're now willing and educated enough to invest in business coaching?
Yes. I think the last 4 years, as I mentioned, COVID was a blessing in disguise. In last 4 years, that culture of having a coach in the business is no more a luxury. It's becoming a day-to-day necessity. Having that third person perspective in your business, people are seeing the importance for it. And working with SMEs in India, I had coaches and clients telling me this about 4 years back, that does it really work? Would if I invest into coaching, will it work for me? And the same guys, I have testimonials talking about the tremendous growth that they have got in their business just by working with a coach in about 3 to 4 months time, and now they continue that arrangement. So yes, the mindsets have opened. Even individuals are looking at. I have recently, I have a very, very small business. This is run by a very young lady. She's paying her coach more than what she earns on a monthly basis. That and she has a vision. She understands the power concept of coaching. She says, I might be new to business, but if I have a coach right from day one, I will be able to build a very, very successful business. So yes, the mindsets have opened up, and now people are looking at coaching as a necessity rather than a luxury, I would say.
And that's interesting enough. But being in India, you feel like you are on the other side of the world, basically, but you still have a community of franchisees that work together with you to help grow your system as well, and to help improve your system and to help improve your processes, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. We currently consult about 1,000 plus brands. And I very proudly say this: 60 to 70% of them are the small and medium businesses who are looking to make it big through franchising. So there's peer to peer learning. There's so much content and best practices that we bring in from across industries that becomes a reference material for our coaches as well. But I guess that collaborative learning, that platform, we recently concluded one of the biggest franchise exhibitions in the world. It was held on the 18th and 19th of May, where we had 600 international and domestic brands. More than 50,000 people attended the show, and on the sides of it, we were running multiple conferences, and the kind of ideas that were exchanged, the kind of networking that happened at the show, just showed that how collaborative space this is going to be. People are now no more competing; they are ready and eager to learn from each other and grow from there on.
When you started, what looking back now at when you got involved with the business first, so you said 5 years ago, is there anything that you would do different now if you were starting all over again?
No, I guess when I look back at my journey, I guess to start off, we were too salesy, and we were just trying to get any and everyone, as a franchisee on board. But over a period of time, what we've realized is, coaching is not for everyone, or knowledge-based business is not for everyone. So qualifying a prospect, saying more no's than yeses is very, very important. We're not chasing numbers. We are chasing, good quality of professionals that can be in the knowledge businesses. So instead of, making it like a hunting business in the initial years, if it was more of, a business where we say, are you even eligible to be a part of a knowledge business? Maybe the way we marketed and sold in the initial years, if we could tweak that a bit, we would have much better growth in the years to come.
And I guess you've had experience in what you know is a successful model, a successful candidate versus someone that probably shouldn't have been in the business in the first place.
Absolutely. As I said, earlier, we always looked at, the experience and whether the person has the investment capacity or not, and even if they did not had, we would suggest them various ways of raising funds and getting into the business. But now when I look at the new approach that we have, we really position this business opportunity who has that capital available, who would understand of what it takes to build a knowledge business, and it's not easy to build it. So, some of the common questions that I ask these days is, what's your vision for wealth creation in the next 2 years? What is the kind of cars that you drive? What's the kind of, what's your goal for your next vacation? So, I just want to understand how important is wealth creation for them and how are they looking to achieve that. So, I have changed my parameter of qualifying a candidate to, just to understand whether they are ready to become a coach or not, to now actually qualifying a person whether they are the right profiles to be coaches or not.
And I heard this phrase more than one. Is this tell us your why? Why do you really want to do this? What motivation do you have to get involved in this kind of business?
So, it's an interesting journey, I would say, William. I come from a business family, and I've seen, my everyone in my family, in the initial years struggling to build businesses and, get the right guidance. My brother, left his studies in the high school to join my family business, because we lost our father at a very early stage, and he became the head of the family. And I've seen the struggles, of how he managed and how he ran the businesses. I even when I graduated, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. So I've done my master's in filmmaking, and after a couple of years of work experience, I set up my own film production house. And not to say it kind of bumped in the very first year, and we were not even able to survive through first 12 months. So I've seen the hardships of what it takes to build businesses in the family, in my own personal experience. And when I got this opportunity, I remember, when I met Mr. Maria in early of December 2019, we just had about a 10-15 minute conversation. And he said that, the opportunity that I have for you is, helping businesses grow. Would you be up for it? And I was like, why not? This is something that I've always wanted. I've seen this struggle. If there's some kind of concept that's available, it would do wonders. And specifically coming from a tier 2, tier 3 city, it is an alien concept for us. Now being a part of a community where I see my coaches impacting entrepreneurs, impacting lives on a day-to-day basis, it just feels to be at a very fulfilling space, irrespective of the money, irrespective of the transactions, just getting those client testimonials and seeing the success stories is what provides us that kick, what keeps us going. So that's what it is. And on this way we have made some very good friends, we have grown, we run a very, very profitable business. And who doesn't want to be a part of this space? So my why is, what I failed in the past, I'm now trying to give back to the community that needs it the most. And I'm enjoying doing that enjoying that experience, I would say.
Well, and I'm sure your early life experience taught you that you grow by helping someone else grow.
Exactly.
And I think that you're not only changing the businesses or the success of a business, but you're also changing people's lives.
Absolutely. You're just not impacting one life. If you're impacting a business owner's life, you're impacting thousands of others' life, who are directly related to the business owner. So that community impact that you bring in really is the kick, I would say.
Yeah, I had a chat with another individual in the business, which mentioned that he not only had saved the business, but he saved something like 1,200 jobs, and this 1,200 people that you could have impacted their lives in a negative fashion.
And time and again, I hear these stories where while we are a business coaching organization, my coaches also uh, directly, indirectly tend to be life coaches for their clients as well. So they just do not impact their businesses, but they impact their lives also on a day-to-day basis. So that's the beauty of being in a business like this.
Yeah, because when you improve someone's business and someone's income and someone's livelihood, you technically improve their personal life as well. No?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So what are your plans for the future? What do you feel? How do you feel you're going to continue to grow and to deliver the promise?
I guess the journey has just started, William. There's a lot of work to be done. You know the numbers. You might know the demographics of India. We have about 97 million SMEs in India, and currently at about 70, 80 coaches. There's a long way to go. As per a recent study done in India by a very, very famous coaching organization, a global coaching organization, India by 2030 needs 10,000 professional coaches, and this is India in itself will be a $2 billion market for business coaching. Even if we are able to, if we really want to cater to that kind of numbers, there's a long way to go. But the plan is that India should be a 454 coach community for Action Coach, and we are really aligned to the vision of creating these super farm territories where we impact thousands of businesses on a week basis. So that's the vision that we are chasing at this point in time.
Well, Satyam, I really appreciate the effort and your time, and I know it's late in the evening for you, so I really appreciate the time you took to share your knowledge with us, and hopefully we can get together again in the future.
Absolutely, William. The pleasure was all mine, and thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thanks for joining us today, and hope you have gained some valuable insights into the world of franchising. My name is William Lesante, and I would like to invite you to the next episode of the Franchise Coach podcast. Please make sure to like and subscribe and share with your network. Also, click the link below to learn more about franchising with Action Coach. Thank you.